Sarah Savage has worked as an occupational therapist serving children and their families for 39 years. Her work began in South Dakota, brought her to Minnesota, England, the East Coast, New Orleans, and lastly to the St. Louis Park Schools, where she has worked for 22 years. Sarah has been a member of our infant toddler intervention team, serving children birth to 3 and their families, primarily in their homes. Additionally, she has been on our ECSE team, serving children 3 to K. Sarah skillfully evaluated children, developed educational plans, and most importantly, participated and partnered with parents and staff to facilitate children's growth and development. She approached her work with calm, patience, knowledge, and creativity. She readily shared her vast knowledge of feeding, sensory, and motor development. She has been our go-to person for all things medical in ECSE. Sarah has done an amazing job in explaining complicated topics such as sensory processing and motor planning, thus giving parents insight into their child and their child's needs. Sarah's compassion and love for the children and families she served was evident in each and every interaction she has had with them. This care was evident the minute she walked into their home or a classroom. Sarah will be greatly missed by the children, families, and staff in our ECSE program.
Amy Groom, congratulations on your retirement. You spent 14 years with us here at St. Louis Park High School in our special education department. Over that time, you've taken on various roles, but always you've put the students at the priority and at the center. You've conducted evaluations for us, you've been team lead for us, you've been co-teacher for us, you have done so much for us. And most of all, you've done so much for the students of our high school. You put them at the center and always make their needs the priority. You challenge them, you support them, you enrich their days, and yet at the end of the day, they know you're there for them. Thank you so much for giving us 14 years and all that you've done for our students and staff at St. Louis Park. You've worked with many administrative teams. You challenge us to be our best so that you can all be your best for the students, and we are grateful. I know you're looking forward to becoming a grandma and having time to spend with grandkids, and at the same time, I'm happy you're going to come back and substitute for us and be able to help us with some other needed tasks. All our best, and again, my thank you. Congratulations, Amy.
Hi, I'm Lisa Green. I'm the Community Education Director for St. Louis Park Schools. And tonight, I get to congratulate Peggy Rick and tell you a few things about her. Peggy has worked for St. Louis Park Public Schools for 28 years. And during that time, she was an early childhood family education teacher, teaching parents and children. She was a coordinator for one of our early childhood programs called Creative Play, and she was a jazzercise instructor. I met Peggy before I even started working in St. Louis Park. See, Peggy's an expert on early childhood, and as such, she would teach workshops for the Minnesota Community Education Association conferences, and I took some of her workshops. And then imagine my surprise when one day I was taking a jazzercise class in Brooklyn Park, and in walks Peggy Rick to be our substitute instructor for the evening. It's like, hey, I know you. Well, then I started working for St. Louis Park, and then I got to know Peggy better and got to know what she was all about. I sat in a lot of meetings with Peggy, and I took a lot of Peggy's jazzercise classes because every time I had to stay in St. Louis Park for a school board meeting or a SEAC meeting, I'd take Peggy's class. A lot of people took Peggy's jazzercise class. So, Peggy, the role she has and had in St. Louis Park was so important because she would teach parents. She was there for parents. In those first few years of parenthood, when you're not really confident about what you're doing and you just want somebody to talk to, she was there for them. So much so that parents who were kids and took Peggy's ECFE classes as kids with their parents then brought their kids back to take ECFE with Peggy. She is our St. Louis Park treasure. Also, Peggy was often the first person when somebody would call and want a tour or more information about our early childhood programs. Peggy was the one that met with them and took them on a tour and told them about all of the great things that we do for children, for young children in St. Louis Park. You know, Peggy is an expert. She's an educator. She's our cheerleader. And she's also kind and friendly and funny and a joy to be around. So many people are going to miss her. I'm going to miss her. But hey, Peggy, you know, maybe we can take some jazzercise classes together when we can get back into jazzercise. So I just want to say, Peggy, congratulations on your retirement. Good luck with everything you do, and let's stay in touch. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Les Bork, and it is an honor for me to acknowledge Jackie Davis, who retired in December of this year after 23 years of service to the St. Louis Park Schools. To share a bit of history, in 1988, Jackie came to sub at the middle school in a variety of positions, a utility infielder, if you will. Finally, as Jackie would put it, you took a risk and hired me to do the receptionist position, which I did for 10 years before finally moving to my, as she would quote, my final resting spot in the LMC. Throughout the years, you've proven yourself to be a treasure to the students and staff in our school. Over the years, you have acquired a loyal collection of followers. This is due to your tenacity to get things done for people, as well as patience and love shown to us all. A person who works in the LMC needs to wear many hats to do everything that needs to be done. And to be honest, it comes with many demands, some reasonable, others not so much, but all are important to keep the teachers moving forward with their plans. Jackie has always been willing to do whatever it takes, whether it is taking in the newspaper in the dark hours of the morning dropped in the snow outside our school, getting technology to areas that need it in the building, or just a compassionate ear to calm the beast inside of us during those frustrating moments. Jackie's roots are long and deep in the community, and she and Jim have just lived blocks away from the middle school all this time. She has volunteered and worked in 5 schools, with her son Chase having gone through our entire K-12 program and is now very successful today. Her contributions are many, as many have attested to over the years. In closing, Jackie stated in December to doing the following, and I believe she is implementing her plan now. First, help her mom get things done. Second, paint some inside rooms in her house. Then get to their lake home on Island Lake for more family time. Dog sit Kirby, her son's dog. And finally, continuing to give back to the St. Louis Park community by volunteering at STEP and at her church. Jackie, on behalf of all the children you've influenced, all the staff whose lives you have touched, we wish you all the best from all of us, for you are loved and will be missed.
It is my honor to recognize Brad Brubaker. Brad taught at both our high school and our middle school over the past 33 years. He has been an amazing part of this district and this community. Brad is somebody that the students are excited to have in class, to seek him out, to sign up for his classes, and he will be sorely missed at the high school. I remember the welcoming nature of Brad. When I started in the district, he was one of the veteran teachers at the middle school, and I remember him welcoming me and mentoring many young teachers at the middle school. And then I had the honor of transferring to the high school and working with him there. At the high school, he's an integral part of the BAR program. He also does some training on the side, which I'll get to later. But probably the most amazing part of Brad On the back of his sign behind me that says Home of the Orioles, it says Building Champions for Life. And both in the classroom and on the field, Brad was somebody who focused on building champions for life. It's pretty often a pretty common occurrence to see Brad here in the stadium, either working to support the overall program or to be on the field working with the soccer team and the track team. As I said before, we're going to miss Brad. Brad is definitely not going to slow down. He's moving on to another coaching position with the bar program. And that excitement that students had working with Brad, I've seen with the adults that work with him in that program. So Brad, we wish you the best. You're amazing. We'll never replace you. That's not going to be our attempt because you're one of a kind, and good luck to you.
Diana Singleton, congratulations and happy retirement to you. St. Louis Park Schools Health Services Department owes you a debt of gratitude. You began at Cedar Manor. You had that health office running safely, smoothly, happily, effectively. You had it all going on. When we needed help at the high school, it was you we asked for assistance, and so grateful you accepted. We had students who had begun to think that was a friendly hangout place, and they could escape school and not be in class. You came right in and turned that around in a way that they knew you loved them, and yet they knew you expected them in class and doing their best. So while you cared for and loved on them, you challenged them every day to do their very best and to be their very best. You are a park person through and through. You've given it so much. You and your family have been there for a long time, and I'm so excited for you and the move to your new farm. You and your husband will have many new adventures together. I hope you'll come and see us, Diana. All of our best, and thank you again.
Kathy Riemann-Schneider has provided services and support to the early childhood special education community for 39 years, the vast majority of that time within the St. Louis Park School District. Kathy was one of the founding members of the ECSE team in St. Louis Park. She has skillfully worked as an ECSE teacher, evaluator, and family/behavior support specialist. Over the years, Kathy has connected with hundreds and hundreds of children and their families. She respectfully conducted evaluations. Kathy was thoughtful, kind, and respectful when she interacted with parents. She also had a knack for hooking kids. She kindly shared the difficult message with parents that their child qualified for special education services. Kathy always celebrated the child's strength and beauty during evaluations. She emphasized the amazing possibilities of each child. She presented well-thought-out plans to support the child's growth and development, thus bringing solace and hope to the families. Kathy partnered with parents and colleagues in creating plans to address the needs of children who were highly dysregulated. She coached parents in regard to strategies they could use in their home. She connected families with numerous community resources. Kathy has been a valued leader in our ECSE program. She has a wealth of knowledge and experience and a wonderful sense of humor. She is held in the highest regard by her colleagues, and she will be missed by all.
It is my honor this evening to acknowledge retiring middle school industrial technology teacher Barry McCain. For 19 years, Barry taught at the middle school during my principalship and worked hard to live the school mission to create, engage, and ignite passion in the education of all students. Middle school can often be a challenging time for students as they try to find their spark for learning. Barry took the time to get to know students and share his talents and specialty to ignite the creative work and spark all students have. He's been on leave from the middle school recently and is deeply missed.
Happy retirement, Meredith Johnson. Congratulations. I would like to share a few words regarding the wonderful person Meredith is. Meredith Johnson has worked at Peter Hobart and Susan Lindgren schools for many years. She has most recently worked as a kindergarten assistant with Miss Kim Hansen at Susan Lindgren. She is a very dedicated, creative, hardworking, passionate, and caring colleague we will all miss very dearly. Thank you, Meredith, for all that you have given and shared with the many students and staff you have worked with over the years. We all wish Meredith a very happy retirement with her husband, Frank, and their beautiful family. I would also like to share Meredith has most recently taken the lead on organizing a group of team members from Susan Lindgren that are going out and delivering meals to areas that attend Susan Lindgren. And I can't thank her enough for her initiative and leadership. Meredith, again, congratulations and happy retirement.
Judy Hatting, I want to start with a thank you. You have given so much to so many in so many years. I know it to be at least 25 years here in St. Louis Park with us. First met you when you were a special education teacher at Cedar Manor, and I was a special education teacher at Aquila. We even taught summer school together a couple of times, and I remember the resource room at Cedar Manor being so filled with materials, and when it was time to close Cedar Manor, that was a miracle and a lot of work. And I know you stored a lot of your personal teaching belongings in your garage, so thanks to your husband for that. A few years later, we asked you to be an educational evaluator, and you accepted, and you have given yourself 100% to that role. I remember years ago, I would get emails from you at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning trying to figure things out. We took it our personal task to make sure we helped you find healthier work habits, because you can't work all night. And you've just given so much to so many people over the years. You've thrown baby showers and wedding showers and support times for students and staff. You are just such a giving person, and we will all miss you so much. I hope you're having great times and on to a wonderful future. I know when I spoke with you Friday night, you were looking forward to some gardening that you had not yet had time for. So here's to a healthy garden summer and much happiness to you ahead. Thank you, Judy.
Good evening. It is my honor to say a few words on behalf of Lisa Green, our Director of Community Education. Lisa, I am so thankful to have had the opportunity to work with you for the past 3 years. You are a tremendous leader who cares deeply about the students, staff, and community here in St. Louis Park. The work you've done over the years has truly exemplified our core value around lifelong learning, as you've created tremendous opportunities for adults all throughout this community to engage in learning opportunities that energize and enhance their spirit. I appreciate your continued selflessness and care for St. Louis Park Public Schools. This year, as you were making a decision to retire, you notified us at the beginning of the year, which truly positioned us to be able to find someone that we hope will be able to fill your tremendous shoes. So I just want to thank you for everything that you've done and will continue to do on behalf of learners of all ages. And I wish you the best in retirement. Take care and enjoy retirement.
Physical education has changed a lot in the 34 years that Dan McEachron taught at the middle school. Today, we honor his retirement and celebrate his service. Middle school physical education presents many challenges, but most importantly of all is educating students in the myriad of options to build an activity-based, healthy lifestyle. Thank you, Dan, for building a healthy future for so many St. Louis Park students.
I'm honored to recognize Cheryl Brody for her 25 years of service at the high school in our counseling office. Cheryl had one of those jobs where if you sat in her seat for a moment and somebody came in, they'd for sure ask you something you weren't able to figure out. Cheryl did so many things, and she did it with grace and ease. She helped connect our students to their future at post-secondary institutions, among many other things. I'm here at the entrance of the high school because this is one place I often thought about people like Cheryl. As you enter the building, you think about those smiling faces who are always ready to not only talk about work, but check in with you about other things. going on in your life. Cheryl is somebody that will be missed in our high school offices, but we are so excited that she'll be spending some time with family. And being that she is a grandmother, I'm guessing things probably won't slow down for her, as when you retire, sometimes the young ones get to be in the care of grandparents, and I'm thinking she'll welcome that opportunity. So Cheryl, thank you for your smiles. Thank you for the conversations about our families, and the best of luck to you in your future.
I've had the privilege to know Kathy Baldwin for the last 20 years. In that time, I found her to be kind, passionate, collaborative, and always doing what she believes is best for children. Kathy spent the last 35 years as a professional educator, 23 years in St. Louis Park, and she's been an English teacher at Park Spanish Immersion Elementary School for the past 21 years. Mrs. Baldwin, also known as Senora Baldwin, has been a favorite teacher at PSI. Some former students have called her fun, nice, and a storyteller. She's always encouraged students to express themselves and to read widely. She regularly goes to rummage sales to look for more books for her students. Whenever help was needed with school events or on a committee, Kathy always happily volunteered to help. In retirement, Kathy is looking forward to trying out new adventures. I'm excited for her, and I hope that she knows the positive impact that she's had on the students in our school and in our school as a whole. Thank you for your service. Gracias y buena suerte.
I'm Patricia Magnuson, Director of Business Services. I'm happy to acknowledge retiree Linda Stanley. Linda served St. Louis Park Public Schools for 29 years, most recently as our Student Data Coordinator. Linda had a wealth of knowledge about the school district and about complex student transportation and student accounting issues. Linda had built strong relationships with both staff and families. We wish Linda all the best in her retirement.
Hello, my name is Tammy Borgen, and I'm the manager of school nutrition. It is my honor to recognize Lynn Solver on retiring from school nutrition. She's worked for the district for 12 years. She's been helpful to the children, kind, and most important, she makes sure that all the children get a healthy breakfast and a lunch. Lynn, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Tom Bravo. I'm the facilities manager for St. Louis Park School District, and it is my honor to celebrate Jim Estevez as building supervisor for 35 years here at St. Louis Park School District. What I know is that Jim Estevez always smiles, and his details for keeping a building clean and ready for students and staff has been meticulously. All the principals say that he is ready, always ready, when students and staff come in the fall. Congratulations, Jim, and we wish you the best.